Now it's time to go on the field and understand what this means in everyday life.
In the morning, we had a walking session, which is a brief lesson to understand the plants that the Maasai people use in their daily life, like the Salvadora persica.
So this is called a toothbrush tree.
Another ecological Maasai technology.
After the walking session, we went back to our field research, trying to find an answer to our question.
Can ecotourism be a realistic solution to the human-wildlife conflict?
The elephants were just crossing by, going for those tomatoes. 2 elephants are enough to get rid of half an acre within 10 minutes. There's a compensation of elephants killing livestock, but there is no compensation on crops. Tomato could take like 3 months to yield. This is the only source of funds that people could get. So you can see how desperate people could become.
Naweza kaja kapa safari 3 tu. Ni moto tu na kufukuza tu. Sio ngwana, lakini sasa tunatumia sheria. Kama zamani wakati kulikuwa hakuna sheria isinapigwa.
Yes, in the past when there was no law, we used to kill them.
Kibinafsi? Hakuna faida. Kwa serikali?
Kwa sababu ya wanyama.
Ningewaambia wafungie wanyama sehemu zao na wananchi sehemu zao.
They could say let's separate people from wildlife.
From the 1980s is when the concept of ecotourism emerged, and it involved establishing enterprises communities can be able to run and manage. What happens when you practice ecotourism is that you are able to change the attitudes of people because they are able to receive actual benefits from conserving wildlife. In the past, people would be given compensation for losses, and it's an approach that has continued even up to now. But it has been realized that you are able to change the attitudes of people by giving them benefits not in form of cash, but in form of them participating in tourism and them running enterprises and them being able to work with tourists and getting benefits from that.
So what has to be done to get to the point that all the community really understand the benefits and really get the benefits from ecotourism?
One way of doing this, it can be by calling barazas, where you can call everybody and you talk to them about the benefits of the enterprises. You can also go and visit people in their different places where they stay and talk to them about wildlife. One thing that everybody should realize is that community participation is not, it's not only the primary participation whereby you yourself have to participate. There is also secondary participation, which can be if somebody else benefits, maybe your child or somebody else. So you have to go and talk to the people and tell them that it is not a must that you see yourself receiving cash from living with wildlife. It is not a must that you yourself get something from it. It can come indirectly. So the solution to that will always lie in extending our education program. So the answer is just extension education.
Well, I think now we have a realistic answer to a realistic question. Ecotourism can be part of the solution, but it cannot be the only remedy.
Communication and education programs need to be implemented to solve the conflict between the communities and the wildlife. But also the conflicts between the communities themselves need to be solved using the same strategies. Human beings can become more aggressive and dangerous than wild animals when it's time to deal with money, and the solution in these cases are even more difficult to find.
This is why before leaving Amboseli, we had to stop in another village, where we had to face a different problem.
See you again.
There are people who are getting rich from tourism. Yeah. Why this cultural village
cannot benefiting from tourism, which is the main obstacle?
Yeah, for example, due to the tourism that we have in Amboseli, it's just whenever tourism visits to our villages, they have % of the money which we can charge them, and those % of the money it go to the driver guide, whereby it's not good. But the Maasai people, they give them, you know, because if we don't give them, they will never bring tourism to our villages. That is the problem, because they are the ones who are selling tourism to come to the villages, and only Maasai, they only get % of the money. And another word also, we have a little shopping center whereby that's in case if our tourism want to buy something, that's a way whereby now we Maasai people benefit with the tourism, but it's just little, because we know tourism when they're coming to Kenya, they pass all the curio shop or the shop, but you see.
Ajo nai, Ramayana nin like.